Astarion sees you're almost fully asleep and will drag you to bed now. By Justporo. Read by Sparrow Reading. It was so late it could have been called early. Outside you could already hear the birds chirping, cheerfully greeting the new day, which meant that it was more than high time for you to crawl into bed. And doubly so because you lived with a vampire who fared even worse from the sunlight than you. But you were still crouched over your desk and the papers there. Your eyes were tired. You barely saw what you were working on anymore. And you knew you could get this done when you were fully rested and it would only take a matter of minutes. But you were so desperate to finish this. Unfortunately, you had a tendency to be very determined. Someone else usually called stubborn, but you always pretended that you had gone deaf all of a sudden when that happened. But this tendency had brought you this far and probably saved your life more than once, and you would not be bested by a piece of work. But your head was slowly falling and your eyelids growing as heavy as lead, and you only jumped back up when you heard that certain someone enter the room, being purposefully noisy to make you aware of it. You were grateful for that, because if the vampire had snuck up on you, like he was fully capable of, it might have not ended well with you being this exhausted. "Slacking on the job, are we?" You heard his familiar teasing voice as he came closer. You felt his presence as he leaned on the table around you, basically caging you with his arms, sleeves rolled up to his elbows as usual. His lips were awfully close to your ear, and the hairs on your neck stood on end as you didn't even dare to rip your eyes from your work. "Don't you think this can wait, love?" he whispered now directly into your ear, causing a hot and cold shiver run down your spine. But with this he had pushed the wrong button. Almost involuntarily you felt one of your eyebrows rise up and your lips forming a pout. "No, Astarion, I don't think it can wait." You turned your head around to face him and saw him smirk, making you even more annoyed at him. He leaned in closer, causing his chest to brush against your head now. His hands moved to cover yours. "Do you really think a stack of papers can wait more than your caring lover craving your calming touch?" he murmured with a pout that mirrored yours, while his deft fingers freed you of your writing quill out of your angrily clenched fingers. You couldn't resist him long. His hands were used to open up more difficult things than your desperate grip on your writing utensils. Also, his absolutely instrumentalized big red eyes he looked at you with were absolutely working their usual enchanting magic on you. Not enough, though, for you not to make a snide remark about what was happening. "Well, for starters, the stack of papers doesn't talk back." "You think I'm funny, my love." "It also isn't as full of itself." A mockingly offended gasp while Astarion's hands moved the papers out of your reach. "My heart, you hurt me." "Ah, see? It also doesn't guilt-trip me." The vampire's hands wandered up over your arms to your shoulders. "I can't do right by you tonight, can I? You could just let me keep working on my thing." A dramatic sigh, and Astarion let his head fall forward onto your shoulder. Then he let go of you and took a step back. "Do you really want to keep working, dear?" He sounded sincere now, and you suddenly felt true guilt as you looked at him. He stood there, arms crossed over his chest, eyes still awfully wide and shining. But the urge to not keep business unfinished still had you in its claws. After a few heartbeats, you opened your lips to answer, but... "Too bad. You're coming with me now, my love," Astarion exclaimed, and with rogue quickness grabbed your chair by the armrest to drag you away from the desk and turn it around to him. "You need your beauty sleep. I can't be seen walking around with a walking corpse." You squealed when you felt your body get yanked around so quickly, while your tired brain was almost incapable of catching up. Thus, you were almost confused when you had ended up on Astarion's shoulder a moment later. There was no energy left in your body to resist this infuriating man any longer, so you just played the part of a dead weight draped over his shoulder, since he had already coined you as such, and couldn't stop yourself from giggling. "See, darling, I told you. You think I'm funny. It's just the sleep deprivation talking." "Ah, so you agree with that too?" You resisted to answer him with something he would only twist around again to fit his agenda. Instead, you just slapped his butt while you had quite a delectable view of it at the moment. Astarion hissed and just slapped you behind in return. You only giggled more. "I should have left you at that godforsaken desk, let you fall asleep right there and drool on your papers," he murmured under his breath, and ended it with something about how ungrateful you were while he threw open the bedroom door, your favorite drama queen. Then he made quick work to get you off his shoulders with an exaggerated groan, which you were sure wasn't fully acted. As soon as your body hit your soft bed, the last of your energy decided to evaporate into the aether. You were almost falling over if not for the vampire's quick reflexes to catch your wrists. You were almost falling over if not for the vampire's quick reflexes to catch your wrist. With quick fingers and more snarky remarks, you had no power to reply anymore. He undressed you to your underwear. And with more overly dramatic groaning and a roll of his eyes since you provided absolutely no help, did he turn you and lay you down. He carefully placed your head on the pillows, which you thanked him for with a dreamy sigh. Your eyes closed on your own. The blanket was thrown over you, and more rustling told you that Astarion was quickly undressing as well. When the mattress shifted onto the vampire's weight as he got into bed next to you, you barely even noticed it anymore. With final efforts, Astarion dragged you onto his chest, your arms slung around him, and your legs tangled with his automatically. You had done so hundreds, if not thousands of times already. All this work just to get you to where you belong, Astarion whispered to you and clicked his tongue disapprovingly as he began rubbing lazy circles on your back. You only hummed contentedly as you felt your body fully relaxed next to him. Your last half-coherent thought as you drifted off to sleep was that, indeed, you had to agree with him on this one. You were right where you were supposed to be. Hello, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this one, and thank you to Justporo for letting me PODFIC this. Comment, like, and subscribe. See you in the next one.